Hello, good morning. Hope you're doing well. There was just a few things I forgot to add to the pine cleaner video. Um, the one thing is that it is concentrated, so you want to add that maybe to a spray bottle with some water. And then there's just a few other details too about certain kinds of pine trees that you don't want to use for the cleaner. Also, you can use any kind of citrus peels, uh, lemon, orange, whatever, or leave those out even if you don't want to use them. But if anybody's interested in, I know there's lots of videos on how to make it, but if anybody's interested in seeing, how I make it, it's pretty really simple. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to put that in a video as well. All right, just a few things I'm going to share with you here on screen, so we'll go ahead and. So I just wanted to share a couple of things about the pine cleaner, which I forgot to talk about in the video about the pine cleaner, is that make sure that you're choosing the right type of evergreen. Apparently, there are some that can have a really unpleasant odor. I heard it described as could smell like cat pee, so that's not something you want for cleaning. So some of the types of evergreens to avoid might be an eastern red cedar. Some say they can have a strong, unpleasant smell. Yews, those actually are toxic. You do not want to use yews at all. Um, so they contain a toxic compound, not safe for cleaning, so stay away from those altogether. Norway spruce may not produce a pleasant scent when steeped. Hemlock, those can have a musty odor, not effective. Flock trees, so if you have like a flocked Christmas tree, those often are treated with chemicals. You don't want to use those, so think about that as well. Like if you're collecting pine needles from somewhere that they spray, you probably don't want to use those needles unless they're spraying something non-toxic. But just be careful if you're collecting your pines. I know with Christmas trees, we really don't know. Other than like with our Christmas tree, we went to a Christmas farm and cut that down. They don't use any chemicals, but just being careful with what you choose. Some tips were that freshness, use fresh untreated branches or needles to ensure a pleasant scent, and then do a scent test. So smell the evergreen before using it. If the one that you're choosing has an unpleasant odor, then chances are once you steep it, that unpleasant odor may be worse. But you can always try it out and see what you think. But just be careful of what you choose and make sure the scent is something pleasant that you would like to use. So let me know if you have any questions about the pine cleaner. I'd really like to know, have you used the pine cleaner? What was your experience in making it? Also, I was wondering, I've made vinegar from scraps. I've never made it from pine. Have you made vinegar from pine? And one thought I had was to make the vinegar myself and then create the pine cleaner afterwards. But I'm wondering, does it work if you make a pine vinegar yourself? So if you've ever done that, I'd really be interested in knowing how that worked out for you, if you liked it. Did you do a fruit scrap vinegar and then create the pine cleaner, or did you do a pine? Actually, were you able to make a vinegar from the pine needles? Be really interested in knowing that. So let me know if you've used the cleaner. I'd like to know your experience. And also, I was thinking, I've had such good experience with it so far. Thought about also doing some videos showing some kind of stubborn areas. Like, for instance, our floors, they're not finished yet, so they get pretty dirty. And I've noticed that in any area I've used it on to clean up a mess, it's really cleaned that floor up and makes the wood look new again. So I was thinking, that might be a good one to show. If you have any that you'd like to share, let me know. Also, if you have a YouTube channel, let me know. I'm trying to make sure and subscribe to everyone that's subscribing to our channel here. And I want to start watching your videos, but I'd really like to know, do you have a YouTube channel? And you have videos on there so I can make sure and go in and watch your videos and, just really like to grow our community, help each other out here. So just let me know in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay warm, and I will see you soon.